All new at 5:30, frustrated Buffalo parents demand answers and action, asking why some school buses are dropping off children so late. Hear why the changes could take some time. Plus, new developments in the deadly limousine crash in Schoharie County, New York. You'll hear who has been arrested in this case. And a dramatic shootout between a man and police is captured on camera in Rochester. Hear from police on why this chase started.
Need the community's help. We're looking to hire more drivers. We'd love to have, parents of the children in our district.
Buffalo school officials are asking families for patience in solving a driver shortage that has led to students getting home late and has generated a ton of complaints from parents. Buffalo Public School transportation officials met with managers from the First Student Bus Company today to figure out how to get more drivers behind the wheel and keep those that they have. As Al Vaughters tells us, changes may be weeks away. Al?
School and bus officials point out there's a national shortage of school bus drivers, mostly affecting large city school districts more than the suburbs. It's forced Buffalo school bus drivers to have to double up on routes, causing delays and a lot of pain and confusion for parents. Based on the number of complaints from parents, once their kids climb on the bus, they have no idea how soon they'll be getting home. They could be late, in some cases, hours late. Buffalo Public Schools have ramped up their recruiting efforts with First Student Transportation, and they say they now have 95 drivers in training. About a third of them should be ready to take the wheel by the end of November. They've set November 14th as the target date and plan to add more drivers each week until all the trainees are on staff.
At a rate of approximately 6 additional drivers each week, right? So the attrition that we've seen throughout the summer and in September has slowed down. So we want to make sure we're covering our routes and trying to get a little bit of a surplus.
However, this summer with the job market being a little hotter than it was, our turnover was a little more than it normally is, but we ramped up for that. And 96 generally would be plenty to cover the open routes for us.
But McCabe said they've had fewer drivers return after the summer to start the year. He also told us in years past, First Student had been able to bring in drivers from out of town to fill the gaps. But with a national shortage of drivers, that has not been an option this year. School officials also tried to clear up some of the confusion surrounding the app that tracks the school buses on their routes. Because some of the drivers have had to double up on their routes, a student who's supposed to be on one bus might actually be on another one. So it might help to find out just exactly which bus your child is actually riding. Al Vaughters, News 4.
Thank you, Al. Buffalo police say a man has been treated after walking into ECMC today with a gunshot wound. Police say the shooting happened sometime last night near Detroit and Peckham Streets, but the victim just went to the hospital today, according to police. They say he was treated for injuries described as non-life-threatening. A former corrections officer at the Attica Correctional Facility has now pleaded guilty to attempted murder. Prosecutors say in May of 2017, 38-year-old Peter Vegas drove to his ex-girlfriend's home and forced his way inside. Authorities say he stabbed her multiple times in the neck before running away. He was later caught by police. The woman survived the attack. Vegas faces a maximum of 25 years in prison when he's sentenced on December 3rd. Well, a man is now in custody for last weekend's deadly limousine crash. Nauman Hussein is the operator of Prestige Limousine and the son of the owner. He is now charged with criminally negligent homicide in the crash that killed 20 people. New York State Police say Hussein was pulled over today on Interstate 787. State records show the limo involved in the crash should not have been on the road and that the driver was not allowed to be driving it. State police say Hussein knew all of this, but let it happen anyway.
The sole responsibility for that motor vehicle being on the road on Saturday rests with Nauman Hussein.
Right now, Hussein is charged with 1 count of criminally negligent homicide, but the state police superintendent says more charges are possible. Wow, that is dramatic video taken by our sister station WROC in Rochester. It captures a shootout between a man driving a U-Haul van and police. Police say the 27-year-old man was wanted in connection with several shootings this morning, including one that killed a woman. Police say the chase ended when the man crashed into a driveway after being shot. Police have not said whether the man was shot by police or took his own life. Here's what police had to say about the chase.
It shows the level of danger, the exchange of gunfire, and put yourself in the shoes of the officers and the deputies that a suspect is allegedly driving through the streets of Rochester shooting at people, and they need to intervene. They need to somehow bring this to an end.
Well, those shootings prompted a lockout at nearby schools. None of the officers involved in this chase was hurt. There we go. We've been trying to give you a live picture from Florida. We're back to Panama City Beach. Now, this is an area where the hurricane has already moved through. Hurricane Michael made landfall. It's battering other parts of the southeast right now, bringing whipping winds. It could create a deadly storm surge. Of course, our chief meteorologist, Todd Santos, is tracking what's happening with all of this. And at this point, Todd, this area looks like